Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for today's New York State Paid Family Leave webinar for adoptive parents. I'm Pam Barnhart, here with Jen Donovan from the Outreach Unit of the Workers' Compensation Board, and today you will learn important information about paid family leave with a focus on how this benefit can be used for bonding with a newly adopted child. You will also be provided with the location of adoption-related resources available to you. We ask you to please keep your phone lines muted as we will be using the chat feature to receive your questions today. Please enter your questions throughout the presentation in the chat box located on the right-hand side of your screen. Use the drop-down to send your questions to the host or presenter. You can also hover over the WebEx tab at the top of your screen and click on Chat. Jackie Sheltry from the Board's Office of General Counsel is also here to help answer your questions. We will answer as many of your questions as we can, but if you have questions that we don't get to today or think of something after the session ends, we'll be providing you with resources at the end of the presentation. So at this time, I will now pass it over to Jen for today's agenda.
Thanks, Pam. Today, in honor of National Adoption Awareness Month, we'll be sharing important information with you regarding New York State's new paid family leave with a specific focus on how working parents can use paid family leave to bond with their newly adopted child. We'll start by discussing why we need paid family leave for adoption and then cover some basics you need to know, including the 3 uses of paid family leave, an overview of the benefits, how much it costs, who is eligible, steps you need to take to request paid family leave for adoption, and updates for 2019. We'll review some frequently asked questions, point you to some helpful resources, and then leave time at the end for your questions. You can submit your questions at any time during this presentation using the chat function, but as Pam mentioned, we will hold them all until the end. So let's go ahead and get started. Why do we need paid family leave? For too long, employees have struggled to maintain their jobs when they need to care for a loved one during a specific time of need. Whether that's caring for a sick family member, dealing with family pressures when a loved one is deployed abroad on active military service, or welcoming a new child. Employees in these situations face the stress of losing income when they need to take time off to help their family, and also fear their job may be gone when the family situation is over. So New York took action. Governor Cuomo worked to develop the strongest and most comprehensive paid family leave in the nation, and in April 2016, paid family leave was signed into law. With paid family leave, New Yorkers no longer have to choose between caring for their loved ones and their jobs, because we now have insurance to help in these critical times. Paid family leave is insurance, which is fully covered by employee contributions collected through small payroll contributions. As of January 1st, 2018, paid family leave provides job-protected paid time off to employees who need time away from their jobs to bond with a newly born, adopted, or fostered child, care for a family member with a serious health condition, or assist loved ones when a spouse, domestic partner, child, or parent is deployed abroad on active military service. Today, we will focus on paid family leave for adoption. How can paid family leave help individuals who are considering adopting a child? Paid family leave provides both parents time to bond with a new child within the first 12 months of the child's adoption. This includes children adopted in 2017, as long as the leave is taken and completed within the first 12 months of the adoption. Mothers and fathers, including same-sex parents, are all provided the same opportunity to bond with their child. Parents who work for different employers can take paid family leave at the same time to bond with their newly adopted child. Parents who work for the same employer may also take paid family leave at the same time to bond with their newly adopted child unless their employer prohibits them from doing so. Otherwise, they can take paid family leave separately over the first 12 months of the child's adoption. So how can paid family leave help you and your newly adopted child? Paid family leave provides you with time needed to build a connection with your newly adopted child by helping your child adapt to their new home and neighborhood, spending time together to learn about your child's past, likes and dislikes, and providing support and assistance with your child's transition, such as escorting your child to counseling sessions and/or attending sessions with them. You may also be able to take paid family leave before an adoption is finalized, if you need to be absent from work for the adoption to proceed. For example, if you need to travel to another country as part of the adoption process. In these cases, documentation must be provided to show the adoption process is underway. For example, a signed statement from an attorney or adoption agency. Let's discuss the benefits under paid family leave. Paid family leave provides time off benefits, which will be phased in over a 4-year period that began January 1st. This year, if you are an eligible employee, you can take up to 8 weeks of paid family leave. In 2019, you can take up to 10 weeks of leave. By 2021, you will be able to take up to 12 weeks of paid family leave. You can take this time off all at once or intermittently, but it must always be in full-day increments. For example, a parent can choose to take their 8 full weeks all at once to bond with their newly adopted child, or they may choose to take a few days per month. Paid family leave also provides wage benefits that phase in over the same 4-year period. This year, if you are an eligible employee, you can receive 50% of your average weekly wage, capped at 50% of the New York State average weekly wage. In 2019, you can receive 55% of your average weekly wage, capped at 55% of the New York State average weekly wage. The rate rises until 2021, when paid family leave pay benefits will reach 67% of your average weekly wage, capped at 67% of the New York State average weekly wage. Your average weekly wage is based on your last 8 weeks of pay prior to taking paid family leave. The New York State average weekly wage for 2018, set from 2016, is about $1,305 per week, or $67,907 annually, which means the maximum benefit is currently about $652. In 2019, the New York State average weekly wage, set from 2017, is about $1,357 per week, or $70,569 annually, increasing the maximum weekly benefit to just over $746. To estimate your wage benefit, use the wage benefit calculator at ny.gov/PFL benefits calculator. In addition to paid time off, New York's paid family leave also has strong employee protections. You are guaranteed to return to the same or comparable job after taking paid family leave. A comparable job is defined as a position with comparable employment benefits, pay, and other terms and conditions of employment. You are guaranteed continuation of health insurance on the same terms as if you had continued to work while out on paid family leave. If you contribute to the cost of your health insurance, you must continue paying your portion of the premium while on leave. You are also guaranteed protection from discrimination and retaliation. Requesting or taking paid family leave cannot be held against you. Now we'll discuss how paid family leave is funded. Paid family leave is an insurance policy, and you pay for these benefits through a small weekly payroll deduction, which is a percentage of your weekly wage up to a cap set annually. The 2018 payroll contribution is 0.126% of your weekly wage and is capped at an annual maximum of $85.56. If you earn less than the New York State average weekly wage, about $1,305 per week, you will have an annual contribution amount less than the cap of $85.56, consistent with your actual weekly wages. So, for example, if you earn $27,000 this year, or $519 a week, you will pay about 65 cents per week for paid family leave. The deduction will be changing for 2019, which I'll cover a little later in this presentation. To estimate employee deductions, you can use the payroll deduction calculator at ny.gov/PFL calculator. Now that we've covered the types of leave, the benefits, and the costs, let's discuss who is eligible to take paid family leave. Most private employers with one or more employees are required to provide paid family leave insurance coverage for their employees. Public employers may opt into the program. Employees of public employers who are represented by a union may be covered if paid family leave is collectively bargained. For covered employees, eligibility also depends on meeting specific requirements for the amount of time you've worked for your employer. Full-time employees who work a regular schedule of 20 or more hours per week are eligible for paid family leave after 26 consecutive weeks of employment with the same employer. Part-time employees who work a regular schedule of less than 20 hours per week are eligible after working 175 days for the same employer, which do not need to be consecutive. Citizenship or immigration status is not a factor in your eligibility. Paid family leave coverage is not optional for eligible employees. You can only waive coverage if you regularly work fewer than 20 hours per week and won't work 175 days in a year, or if you regularly work 20 or more hours per week but won't be in employment 26 consecutive weeks. Seasonal workers are a good example of this, as they may work full-time, but for only 3 months out of the year. If you meet the criteria for waiving coverage, your employer must provide you with a waiver form, which is also available on the Paid Family Leave website. If you waive coverage, you will not make contributions and will not be eligible for paid family leave benefits. Employers should keep a copy of your waiver on file. If your schedule changes such that you no longer qualify for a waiver, your waiver will be automatically revoked within 8 weeks of the schedule change. You can also voluntarily revoke a waiver at any time. If your waiver is revoked, your employer will begin taking paid family leave contributions and collect any retroactive amounts due. Now we'll cover how you can request paid family leave for bonding with your newly adopted child and your employer's role in the process. Paid family leave benefits became available to New York employees as of January 1st, 2018. If you're an eligible employee, the maximum benefit is available to you once every 52 weeks. Please note the 52 weeks are rolling. It is not based on a calendar year. Applying for paid family leave to bond with an adopted child is easy. You should start by planning your leave. Leave can be taken either all at once or intermittently, but must be taken in full-day increments. You must notify your employer at least 30 days before the start of leave if foreseeable. Otherwise, notify them as soon as possible. For example, you may be planning to take paid family leave immediately after your adoption date, or perhaps you will choose to take it at a later date. You can take it any time within the first 12 months of your child's adoption. Notify your employer as soon as you know the dates you want to take leave. If you need to take bonding leave unexpectedly and 30 days notice isn't possible, notify your employer as soon as possible. Once you're ready to apply for paid family leave, there are 3 key steps. Step 1 is to collect the paid family leave request forms. You can get paid family leave forms from your employer, your employer's insurance carrier, or directly from paidfamilyleave.ny.gov/forms. The form package for bonding with a new child includes 2 forms: Request for Paid Family Leave, Form PFL-1, and bonding certification, Form PFL-2. Step 2 is to complete and attach the request forms and required documentation. Let's look at the two forms you need to complete. Form PFL-1 has sections that need to be completed by you and by your employer. Fill out your section, make a copy, and give the form to your employer to fill out Part B. Your employer is required to return Form PFL-1 to you within 3 business days. If your employer fails to return the form, send the Form PFL-1 that you have filled out, along with the rest of your request package, directly to the insurance carrier. The second form you'll need to complete is the bonding certification, or Form PFL-2. This form is part of the documentation required to confirm an adoption has occurred or will occur. The bonding certification form will ask you to provide information about the adopted child, including date of birth, whether the child lives with you, and evidence of your relationship to the child. Along with the bonding certification form, you must provide proof of your relationship to the child with a supporting document. Parents of an adopted child will need to provide one of the following: a copy of court documents finalizing the adoption, documentation in furtherance of adoption, or a court order finalizing the adoption. If you are not the parent named in the documents, you must also provide proof of verifying your relationship to the parent named in the court documents, such as a marriage certificate, civil union, or domestic partner document. If you need to take paid family leave before an adoption is finalized because you need to be absent from work or the adoption to proceed, you must provide documentation to show the adoption process is underway. For example, a signed statement from an attorney or an adoption agency. Once all forms are completed and you have your supporting documentation, the last step is to submit the completed request package to your employer's insurance carrier. You must submit the request package within 30 days after the start of your leave to avoid losing benefits. Mail or fax your Form PFL-1, Form PFL-2, and all required documentation to your employer's insurance carrier. To find out who your employer's insurance carrier is, you can look for the paid family leave poster in your workplace, ask your employer, or use the employer coverage search application on the wcb.ny.gov website to look up your employer's paid family leave insurance carrier. If you cannot find your employer's insurance carrier, call the Paid Family Leave Helpline for assistance at 844-337-6303. The helpline is available Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. In most cases, the insurance carrier must pay or deny benefits within 18 calendar days of receiving your completed request or your first day of leave, whichever is later. As stated earlier, your request cannot be considered incomplete solely because your employer failed to fill out Form PFL-1, Part B, within 3 business days. If for some reason your paid family leave request is denied, or you have another claim-related dispute, such as amount of benefits or timeliness of a carrier's decision, you may request to have the denial reviewed by a neutral arbitrator. The insurance carrier or employer of self-insured will notify you of the reason for denial and provide you with information about requesting arbitration. Arbitration for paid family leave is handled by NAM, National Arbitration and Mediation. For more information on arbitration is available at nyspfla.com. As mentioned earlier, your employer may not discriminate against you for requesting or taking paid family leave, and you are guaranteed job protection with the same or a comparable job upon return from paid family leave. If your employer does not return you to your same or a comparable job, terminates you, reduces your pay and/or benefits, or disciplines you in any way as a result of you requesting or taking paid family leave, you can file a discrimination claim with the Workers' Compensation Board. The process and forms are available at paidfamilyleave.ny.gov, or you can call the Paid Family Leave Helpline for assistance at 844-337-6303. As New York State prepares for the second year of our landmark paid family leave benefit, there are exciting updates to share. Starting January 1st, 2019, the number of weeks eligible employees can take to bond with a new child, care for a family member with a serious health condition, or assist loved ones when a spouse, domestic partner, child, or parent is deployed abroad on active military service increases to 10 weeks. The paid family leave wage replacement benefit is also increasing. In 2019, employees taking paid family leave will receive 55% of their average weekly wage, up to a cap of 55% of the current statewide average weekly wage of $1,357.11. The maximum weekly benefit for 2019 is $746.41. Each year, the Department of Financial Services sets the employee contribution rate to match the cost of coverage. With 2019 paid family leave benefits increasing to 10 weeks off at 55% of pay, the cost of coverage will rise slightly. For 2019, the employee contribution is 0.153% of an employee's gross wages each pay period. The maximum annual contribution is $107.97. Employees earning less than the current statewide average weekly wage of $1,357.11 will contribute less than the annual cap of $107.97, consistent with their actual wages. Here's a chart showing how 2019 benefit and rate changes will affect an employee making $1,000 a week. In 2018, an employee who earns $52,000 per year, or $1,000 a week, will pay $65.52 per year in paid family leave premium, or $1.26 per week. In 2018, this employee will receive $500 per week for a maximum benefit of $4,000 over 8 weeks. In 2019, the same employee will pay $79.56 per year in paid family leave premiums, or about $1.53 per week. This employee would receive $550 per week and a maximum benefit of $5,500 over 10 weeks. There are a few frequently asked questions related to paid family leave and adoption that may be helpful for you to know. We get a lot of questions on how paid family leave compares to FMLA. As you may be aware, the Federal Family and Medical Leave Act is a federal labor law that provides job-protected, unpaid leave for employees for qualified medical and family reasons. There are several similarities between New York's paid family leave and the Federal Family and Medical Leave Act. Both provide leave for bonding with a child, caring for a family member with a serious health condition, and assisting when a family member is deployed abroad on active military service. Employees are also guaranteed that they'll return to the same or similar position, and their health insurance shall continue on the same terms as if the employee had continued to work. If employees contribute to the cost of their health insurance, they must continue to pay their portion of the premium cost while on leave. But there are a number of key differences. Paid family leave is paid, FMLA is not paid. All private employers will carry paid family leave insurance. FMLA does not include insurance, and it has a 50-employee threshold for eligibility. The length of time an employee must work is different. In paid family leave, an employee who regularly works 20 or more hours a week must be in employment for 26 consecutive weeks for that employer, and an employee who regularly works fewer than 20 hours per week must work 175 days for the same employer, which do not need to be consecutive. For FMLA, employees must have worked for a full year and 1,250 hours in the last 52 weeks to qualify. The biggest distinction may be that under New York's paid family leave, an employee can only take leave to care for someone else, not for their own health condition. FMLA allows employees to take leave for their own health condition. Paid family leave is only taken in full day increments. FMLA may be taken hourly. Also, under paid family leave, employees do not need to use other paid time off first. So how does paid family leave work with other maternity and paternity leave policies? To be compliant with the paid family leave law, covered employers must have coverage for at least 8 weeks of paid family leave at 50% of an employee's pay, up to the statewide cap for 2018, and increase benefits in accordance with New York paid family leave benefit levels through 2021. Employers are free to supplement paid family leave with additional benefits if they'd like. Employers can add to those benefits up to a maximum of an employee's full wages. The combined benefit from the employer and the paid family leave policy may not exceed an employee's full wages. Employers can require paid family leave to run concurrently with their own maternity and paternity leave policies. You should check with your employer about how the benefits interact. So what if you've already taken leave for a child in 2017? You are still eligible for paid family leave bonding leave if you adopted a child in 2017, as long as it's still within the first 12 months of the child's adoption. This is true even if you've already taken FMLA or other leave through your employer's maternity or paternity policy. It's important to note that the leave must be completed within 1 year of the adoption. What if the child being adopted is not an infant? Can the employee still take bonding leave? The answer is yes. There is no age limit on taking paid family leave to bond with an adopted child. Again, just keep in mind that bonding leave must be completed within the first year of the child's adoption. As you know, paid family leave has been live since January 1st, 2018. As you think about how paid family leave may be able to help you and your family, there are resources to assist you. Complete details on paid family leave are available at paidfamilyleave.ny.gov, along with other resources, including weekly benefit and payroll deduction calculators, fact sheets and FAQs for new parents, paid family leave request forms, and additional details on paid family leave updates for 2019. You can also contact the Paid Family Leave Helpline at 844-337-6303 for assistance. The helpline is open 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. If you are not already subscribed for email updates on paid family leave, you can subscribe by clicking Get Updates on the bottom of the paidfamilyleave.ny.gov homepage. We know that building bonds as a forever family takes time, and paid family leave may be able to help.